justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
What do we got? Dead victim, head bashed in, privates exposed. Tech found seminal fluid on the face, legs, and mouth, and we thought of you.
Was she a resident of the building?
If I need him as Seth Langdon, he lived in a building on the 6th floor. Nice 2-bedroom, but he lived alone as far as we can tell. It looks like this is where it went down.
This guy didn't die quietly. Somebody must have heard something.
They did. There was a loud party in the building in 3B. Pretty ironic ending, don't you think?
What is that?
Well, him being Seth Langdon and all. Son of William H. Langdon.
Head of the Moral Coalition?
Yeah, the guy that's always going around preaching about good, clean, wholesome living, believes homosexuality can be cured.
That's one way to fix it.
Hey, John. What's this? The lease union found us better health insurance.
This form is longer than the last book I read.
Don't you see what they're doing?
Yeah, they're looking out for you, Munch. Psychiatric coverage increased to 80%.
Relax, it's just a medical form.
Right, yeah. As soon as I find out that your mother had diabetes or that your father has male pattern baldness, sorry, Chief. They'll have your entire genealogical, not to mention genetic fingerprint. They'll know when you're going to die, how it's going to occur, and what song you want sung at your funeral.
There's 2 R's in hemorrhoids.
I'm a desk jockey. What do you want from me?
See, she's got the right idea. Leave the father's side blank. That'll mess him up.
Just keep our eyes on our own paper.
Okay, talk to me about our rooftop homicide, people.
Name's Seth Langdon, white male, 21.
He was at a party on the 3rd floor of his building, made his way up to the rooftop around 1 a.m. There was seminal fluid found on the victim. We're assuming it's pre-mortem. Genitals were left exposed.
He was beat up pretty good, culminating in his head being bashed up against the AAC2.
Lover's quarrel.
Sexual predator from the party?
Initial admin report has 2 types of seminal fluid. One, the victims.
The other, the doers? What do you say we start with the hosts, work our way through the guest list? Langdon? I just heard this piece about William Langdon spouting off about how homosexuals can be cured.
The victim was his son. Get out of here.
1 out of every 10 men is gay. Let's see how Mr. Langdon felt about that statistic hitting home.
I'll make you more barbs about Benson's father.
Excuse me?
You don't know the history there?
No, an alcoholic, deadbeat dad, Jehovah's Witness.
I don't think she knows about it as he was the man who raped her mother.
Excuse me, who are you? How did you get by reception?
We're detectives Benson and Stabler. We need to see William Langdon.
Mr. Langdon's not seeing anyone today.
We're not here selling Amway.
It's all right, Stephen. You can let them in.
Do you have any idea who might want to do this to your son?
No?
Was he involved with anyone? Did he have a boyfriend?
Or boyfriends?
My son was not homosexual.
Mr. Langdon, you are aware of the circumstances of your son's death?
Seth was merely going through a rebellious phase. All children do. We had it under control.
Just how do you control a person's natural sexual orientation?
Homosexuality is not natural. It is a crime against God.
And AIDS is divine retribution.
Are you being flippant with me?
We're really just trying to find your son's killer, Mr. Langdon. That's our only agenda here.
Seth was so confused. I did everything I could to help him. Got him into one of those sexual rehabilitation centers. They have an excellent success rate. Seth completed the program 2 months ago.
Meaning he was cured.
Yes?
So the party got a little bit out of hand?
Oh, I see. You hear gay and party, and naturally you think S&M orgy.
No, but the last party I went to, everybody made it home alive.
The victim's blood alcohol was 0.15. If you were a bartender, you'd be legally responsible.
I haven't tended bars since Studio 54 closed.
Think, did anybody for any reason stand out that night in one way or another? If they didn't, they wouldn't have gotten in the door. Our guests were very prominent members of the community.
Yeah, well, prominent or not, we're gonna need their names and addresses.
How well did you know Seth?
He just moved in recently. Guess we saw him a handful of times in the building's gym.
He's a nice kid. Still finding himself, so much turmoil.
Seth hook up with anybody at this party?
On the contrary, you might say he unhooked. That is, from the good-looking blonde gentleman he walked in the door with. Does this man have a name?
He didn't stay long enough for us to catch it.
After one drink, Seth got a little flirtatious. His friend got upset and insisted that they leave. The next thing we know, they're exchanging words in the hallway.
They leave together?
No. Seth came back in by himself, grabbed a bottle of beer, and head for the balcony. We assumed to cool down.
What happened on the roof was outside of our world. This was a very civilized gathering.
Just stay out of my life. And then we hear a beer bottle smash right outside our window. Is this your apartment?
Yeah, the ground floor apartment. It's the only way we can afford this building. On top of which I do light maintenance, and my husband's the weekend super. She said that detectives investigating that man's murder.
Can't believe it happened.
What do you know about the parties they throw in 3B?
Oh, normally they're quiet. Except last night, we get 3 phone calls complaining about the music. Finally, Jesse had to go up and talk to them.
What time was that?
Around 1.
By any chance, did you happen to see him at that time?
No, I didn't go in. I just asked him to turn down the music, and I left.
When you heard the bottle smash, you look out the window?
Yes.
And what'd you see?
Blonde guy getting into a Lincoln Town car, the chauffeur-driven type.
Anything come up in any of the party guests?
Yeah, I just started inputting him. What?
Father commented earlier. I didn't know I was
A rapist. I know. Listen, Cragen and Stabler know. Otherwise,
Got it.
Thanks.
Did we catch the guy?
Nope.
Were there any leads at the time?
Nope.
You ever need to talk to anybody? Come here.
Okay.
Hey, we got a hit on the car service. A man picked up in front of the victim's building, was driven to a brownstone on the Upper East Side, named Stephen Hale.
What are you doing here?
Your boss had no idea, did he?
About what?
What you did to his son?
Daddy! Let's go!
Why would a gay man work for Langdon, one of the most conservative bigots in the country?
Hale's not exactly open about his sexuality.
Do you think Hal's wife and kid think he has an uncanny ability to accessorize?
Have you seen him? He doesn't accessorize all that well.
Well, maybe Hal's not gay.
Right.
Well, how do you prove it?
One very tried and true way, jealousy. Witnesses said Hale was jealous when Seth started hitting on other guys.
Ah, the old green-eyed monster.
Maybe Hale thought that by working for Langdon, he'd be cured.
Like Langdon thought Camp Wild Bunch cured his own son.
Daddy knows best.
He's damn sure everyone else knows it. I tell you, I don't know how people, smart people, educated people, think that way.
I mean, think that you can actually change the way someone's wired.
Do you know anyone who would actually choose to be gay? Risk family rejection, discrimination?
Choose all that heartache.
Heartache is not unique to being gay, but I know what you mean. In those camps, one of the treatments is electroshock therapy to the groin. Sound familiar?
Yeah, Avenal's tried it on sex offenders.
Yeah, not much the same success.
So you're saying we're like William H. Langdon?
No, we don't try to rewire people, we try to contain them.
Look at him. Stephen Hale is fuming.
He's been living a lie. We just happened to catch him at it. Of course he's mad.
More specifically, he's mad at you.
Which is why we thought you'd have better luck with him.
Yeah, I mean, you're smart and God knows you're patient.
I am not a homosexual.
Okay.
Part of my job was to keep an eye on Seth. Mr. Langdon is seriously eyeing a run for a congressional seat, but the scandal of an openly homosexual son. Well, look at the damage the lesbian sister caused Newt.
Actually, she was a half-sister.
Well, she may have been a half-sister, but unfortunately for Newt, she was all lesbian.
You don't think Newt's problems had anything to do with his ethics violations or him being a pedantic megalomaniac who espouses family values while serving his cancer-stricken wife with divorce papers while she's on her hospital deathbed? Did that ever occur to you?
Anybody know where Cassidy is?
Seth didn't show up at his father's fundraiser that night. Mr. Langdon asked me to check up on him, but when I got to his floor, Seth brushed right by me. I followed, giving him a piece of my mind, and the next thing I knew, I'd find myself at that party.
You're upset that he was flirting.
Because it was revolting. Of course, I tried to persuade him to leave. He wouldn't, but
And what he said on the balcony
it was not a breakup. Stay out of my life was a message to his father. If only I tried harder to get him away from there, he'd still be alive.
Hey guys, where do we stand?
The wife confirms that he never left the house after the car service dropped him off around 12:30.
He is mentioned in the victim's journal, but only in pejorative terms, believe me. No love affair there.
And Mr. Langdon confirmed that he sent him to check on his son.
We sent Stephen Hill home?
With our apologies for the inconvenience.
Of course.
Okay, I guess that takes us back to the party guests.
Yeah, I cross-referenced them against the journal, but no history with any of them.
Wow, this is some shindig. We've got names from the Social Register, an assemblyman, a major AIDS fundraiser.
And none of whom are likely to be big fans of the victim's father.
Well, prominent or not, let's check them all.
Andre Lasnik?
I'm in the middle of rehearsal here. And we're in the middle of a homicide investigation.
Seth Langdon. Did you have any interaction with him?
We were introduced in passing. It's horrible what happened.
What time did you leave the party?
After 1 o'clock, with my first chair bassoon and another couple, Lee Vaughn and Joaquin Morano. We took a taxi to the Carlisle.
We understand that Seth was very friendly at the party.
And that you two seemed particularly chummy.
Look, I'm almost 20 years his senior. We talked about his childhood. I gather due to the dynamic with the father, Seth probably sought out the affections of older men or unobtainable men.
So you, of course, did the noble thing.
I admit I was torn. I excused myself to the restroom to get perspective. When I came out, he was gone.
Was anyone else gone when you got back?
Not that I noticed. Maybe you could tell from the tape.
What tape is that?
Oh, one of the guests had a camcorder, had it going the whole time. Assemblyman Rossi's boyfriend, Joe. Joe Bandolini.
Officer Bandolini. Yeah.
Hey, can we have a few minutes of your time? In private?
The Langdon case?
We understand you have a videotape of the whole party.
The party, not the murder.
Oh, your tape could show the events leading up to the murder.
It doesn't.
You mind if we judge that for ourselves?
Actually, I do. I've managed to keep my personal life and the job completely separate. No one in my squad knows, not even my partner. I'd like to keep it that way.
Right, and we are not looking to change that. This will be handled with complete discretion.
Right. Tape goes into evidence and somehow finds itself circulating the precincts, I'm finished.
It's not gonna happen.
You're right. It's not.
You gonna make us get a warrant?
Look, I'm a good cop. If there was anything on that tape to help your investigation, I'd tell you.
Not good enough. Do right by us, I promise you. I'm promising you, we'll do right by you.
squad room in the morning.
How did we solve cases back then? No FBI link-up, no DNA, no high-tech forensics.
Good old-fashioned shoe leather.
Was Kyle gonna be detective?
One of the best. May he rest in peace.
Wish I could have talked to him.
Would have gotten you more than reading his notes. He was a spotty note-taker. But up here, let's feel friend. He remembered every detail of every case he worked.
Not much on the Benson case. Any idea what pulling CK means?
CK. This is 68. That's got to be Carl Cudlack. We pulled him in on a bunch of rapes back then. Took us forever to finally pin one on him.
Why is that?
Had a wife who alibied him every time. He killed himself in 72. But we never would have gotten him.
Nice.
Want to see me?
Can you shut the door? I believe you've met Officer Bandolini, and this is Mr. Short, his goal representative.
Goal? Do we really need the Gay Officers Action League involved in all this?
We understand you and your partner have been harassing Officer Bandolini. I'm afraid we have to intervene.
Harassed. We in no way harassed your officer. We asked for him to turn over a piece of evidence to us.
We don't consider threats of legal action and public humiliation courtesy.
Public
Well,
humiliation?
obviously, there's a misunderstanding here, all right? Just don't forget we're all on the same side. Let's see if we can sit down and work this out amicably.
That's not necessary. We've both reviewed the tape, and I assure you it contains no compelling evidence.
With all due respect, sir, that's really our call to make.
All we need to do is to view it.
You have your needs, we have our rights. Meanwhile, if Officer Bandolini is outed, even accidentally on purpose, you'll be hit with a defamation suit that'll make your head spin.
Thank you.
Well, this is just great. They filed an injunction. I think you better get Benson in here.
I had a little free time last night, so I looked up your case.
Oh, the Langdon case?
No, your mother's. Detective investigator was dead, so I spoke to one of his protégés.
Munch, it's not that I don't appreciate the thought, but I'm already on it. So I can't tell you how many times I've gone over the report, listened to the statement, gone through six packs.
Spoke to investigators, visited the crime
Trust
scene.
me. I've pulled everything there is to pull.
I don't think this was pullable. I don't know what it'll come to, but from what I've heard, he's right for it.
You bother my partner?
No.
Huh? No.
I have to warn you, the RFLP wasn't back yet. But I ran a couple of quick test results through the databank, and I got a hit.
What's the name?
This isn't going to hold up in court, mind you, but I ran the PCR and the mitochondrial. They're quick, but...
The name.
Ray Gunther.
How do I know that name?
We studied him at the academy. He was the guy that terrorized women for an entire summer in the early 80s. He was known as the Parkway Rapist. But they put him away.
He's out.
There's no way they would release Ray Gunther. He brutally raped 7 women, 2 of which had to have reconstructive surgery.
Maybe he escaped. Anything from Sing Sing?
Well, they've had me on hold for 10 minutes. If he escaped, they took the whole administrative staff with them.
Yes, I need to speak with the DA who handled the Ray Gunther case.
He was paroled.
That was my guess.
When?
A month ago?
Why?
He served 15 of his 25 to life. Prisons are overcrowded. You know that. Gotta make room somehow.
So by all means, let out Ray Gunther.
Yeah, knowing the recidivism rate of sexual predators.
He's got a file with the Sex Offenders Registry. We got an address.
We do. And you shouldn't have too much trouble finding it. It's in the same building where Seth Langdon was killed.
Hi.
Hey, Jesse Hansen, right? Detectives.
Did you catch the guy?
No, but we think we're pretty close.
Do you need anything else? Do you have any more questions?
Just one. Is there a Ray Gunther staying with you?
No, no one's staying with us.
That's funny. This is the address he gave authorities after his parole.
Any idea why he would have done that?
He's my brother.
So why'd you change your last name, Jesse? Come on. You legally changed your last name? There's gotta be a reason for that.
Gunther not too popular name in your neighborhood?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, maybe we heard down about it a bit, huh?
Yeah, they did.
Don't let Ray cause any more trouble than he already has. Just tell us where he is.
I don't know where he is.
But you know what he did? Don't you?
Why do we have to be separated?
It's just standard procedure.
I know my husband. He's not going to say anything. You don't know the psychological hold that Ray has over him.
We're listening.
Jesse was 15 when they locked Ray up. A reporter snuck into his high school and asked him questions in front of his classmates. Jesse said he thought Ray should be put to death. They ran that as a headline. Ray has been working that guilt ever since.
Is that why Jesse let him stay with you when he got out?
Yes, but I couldn't take it after a week. I had to put my foot down. He was talking to Jesse about getting him a job in his construction crew.
That would have been bad.
It would have ruined his life.
Because they would have found out he was Ray's brother.
Because they would have found out he was a Gunther. The whole family's bad. The father was in and out of jail his whole miserable life. The mother is a piece of garbage. And I don't have to tell you about Ray. There is nothing but bad blood in that whole family.
Did you see Ray in your building the night Seth was killed?
He was in our apartment till 1 in the morning.
Where is he now?
I don't know. There's a piece of white trash. Used to visit him in prison. Stripper named Cindy Stocklash. Might be shacked up with her.
Any clue where she could be?
The one time I met her, she was explaining how she wanted to change motels. Apparently hers didn't get porn.
Porn. Narrows it down.
Please state your name, miss.
Serena Benson,
Address?
1104 West End Avenue, apartment B.
You were raped?
Yes.
You gotta speak up, honey.
The campus library closed at midnight. I took the shortcut home I always take. It was darker than usual. I was halfway through when something hit me from behind.
You were knocked unconscious?
Yes. When I came to, I was on a landing below street level. There was a man on top. He pushed up my dress.
Engaged in sexual intercourse? Can you describe him?
He had sideburns and, I don't know. Everything looked distorted.
Who was that?
Who is it?
Detectives, Miss Stocklash, we'd like to ask you a few questions.
Everything okay in there?
Ray Gunther.
You okay?
Nope.
Good. Ray! Did you hurt him? Did they hurt you, Ray? Did you touch him?
Shut the hell up!
He didn't do nothing!
I said shut up!
Sorry. What does you think I did? You're under arrest for the murder of Seth Langdon. You don't have jack.
Yeah, you're right. All we have are witnesses that put you at the building that night.
Then we have something else?
Oh, yeah. You left the little evidence of the victim's mouth.
Ray!
Don't worry, they got the wrong guy.
Wrong guy, but you'll look right to the jury. Out 1 month and back to your old tricks.
Think you'd throw them by switching from highways to rooftops?
Use the same excessive force and beat your victims to a pulp, just like you did Seth, Ray.
But you had a little trouble adjusting back to civilian sex, didn't you, Ray?
You didn't have no trouble.
Shut up. You're a little confused.
Okay, why Seth? Why'd you pick him?
I picked nobody.
Did you even know him?
It's the same in the gym. He just used to work out every day. Sometimes he'd be there. He's pathetic. Been trying to pump up that puny body of his.
So what happened? What, did he hit on you? Or was it you? Did you start to like him puny like that?
Well, now you mention it, he did remind me of a bitch I had in prison.
You're pathetic.
What's wrong? You jealous, sweetheart?
Easy.
Not sweetheart. That's Detective Benson, huh? An apology from you.
I don't need an apology for this slime bag. But I am starting to get really sick of sarcastic little remarks, Ray.
Look, if this is about me getting a little overzealous with Ray. Whoa, what are you talking about?
Nothing. What's up?
We got real problems here. The lab just got the full DNA report back. And it ain't Ray's.
Now remember, I told you the DNA results I gave you wouldn't stand up in court.
Well, all I remember is you giving us the name Ray Gunther.
Yeah, but when I gave you Ray's name, it was off the quickest tests available, of which there are 2. Naturally, I assumed the hit came from the PCR. As it turns out, the results weren't from PCR, which narrows it down 1 in thousands, as compared to RFLP, which narrows it down 1 in billions. This actually came from the mitochondrial.
What's the difference?
Mitochondrial only narrows it down to bloodline. So while it's definitely not Ray, you are still looking for somebody from that family. A father, a son,
Or a brother.
Okay.
Look, here's the problem. They got this pain in the ass DNA. Does this make any sense to you?
No.
Yeah, me either, but it just let your brother off the hook.
And it puts you in the hot seat.
Which really doesn't make any sense to us. We know your brother's bad, but you've been clean your whole life.
Can you explain this, Jesse?
No.
A blood sample will.
I have to give one?
Well, we can hold you for 24 hours, during which time, we can get a court order for you to take it.
I gotta tell you though, refusing to take a blood test that'll clear you, that doesn't look good.
Oh, maybe I should call a lawyer.
You're free to go.
At his trial in '84, they had Ray dead to rights, so he made a sympathy play.
Sympathy for a serial rapist, right? What do you say? Women just don't understand.
No. Claims he and Jesse were raped growing up by their dad.
The old Menendez defense.
Could explain a few things about good old Jesse, huh?
Yeah, except the prosecution put Jesse on the stand and he said that Ray completely fabricated the story.
So how do we know which one is lying?
Don't worry. I'm sure he'll have plenty to say once we get the go-ahead to take his blood. How about you guys? You find anything?
Just a piss-poor gene pool.
You think Jesse was just born bad?
That's bold. Destiny isn't predetermined. I don't know about that. There have been cases of twins separated at birth, growing up in completely different environments, who go on to commit crimes with the same MOs. Theory.
Actually, they've proven transplanting genes from one species to another can alter behavior.
Oh, look, we're not rats, we're humans. It all comes down to how you're raised. You instill morals, values, the kid will turn out all right. If not, well, then you got trouble.
Nature, nurture, ad nauseum. You're assuming a level playing field at birth. I don't know that there is.
Is something wrong?
It's just, hitting a little close to home.
Is that?
The only way that Jesse makes sense in all this is that they're fruit from the same poison tree.
You don't really believe that, do you?
I understand your DNA tech pulled a little Arkansas two-step. Actually took you to the brother first.
Yeah. He's been ruled out. The only way his name came up at all was because it was the same bloodline.
Jesse's lawyer is already waving the old ACLU banner. Asking where does it stop? Are we going to test every relative of Ray Gunther's?
No, just the one that lives in the victim's building.
I fast-tracked the hearing on the blood test for tomorrow. It would be nice to have a safety net. What have you got besides DNA?
What we've got are lawyers sandbagging us at every turn.
Right. The video.
What video?
Only a video of Seth at a party minutes before his death, but that is tied up in litigation too.
Any way of getting it untied?
Let me see if I can make an end run of my own.
Officer Bandolini, my representative is not going to be happy about this.
Well, I realize I'm bending procedure here. I appreciate you meeting with me. You know we need that tape. And you know what it can do to me. Oh, yeah. In 1926, Bobby Jones was winning the U.S. Open. He hits his ball into the woods. He removes a leaf from under the ball and accidentally moves it. Now, nobody sees this. He hits it out, saves par.
I assume there's a point to this story.
Mr. Jones did the honorable thing. He declared the penalty.
And he went on to win the Open?
No, he lost by a stroke. But he said he never lost any sleep over it because he did the right thing.
That was just a game. This is my life we're talking about.
And how are you sleeping?
I don't know why I brought the damn camcorder to the party. That's what I keep kicking myself over. There's nothing illegal or criminal on that tape, but the consequences...
I will do everything in my power to make sure there aren't any. You have my word on that. You planned on handing this over all along, didn't you?
Yeah. But I enjoyed the golf story.
Okay, that's Seth.
Okay, fast forward. Forward. Forward.
Stop. Rewind to click. Stop. Enhance section A6. Zoom in on the door.
Yep. There's Jesse. Let's see if he joins the party.
You know a lot about video analyzing much. Dabbled a little.
Damn it, he didn't even come in.
Forward.
Stop. And go back to the part about the door again. Go back to just before the door opened. Stop. Zoom in on the mirror.
That ain't Jesse, that's Ray.
Back to Ray.
We need to talk to Lorraine again, find out what time each of them actually came back.
I told you Jesse came right back down.
And Ray didn't come with him?
No, we went to bed right after that.
Mrs. Hanson, I need to tell you that providing a false alibi is a felony.
It's insane you have my husband accused of his brother's crime. You know, Ray has been hell-bent on destroying Jesse his whole life.
Why? Why would he want to do that to him?
I don't know. Ray would call from prison every week until Jesse would finally cave in and go see him. And after the visits, Jesse would come home and go into these deep depressions. He wouldn't talk to me about it. He'd just go on these alcohol binges and disappear, sometimes even for days.
That must have been really hard for you.
When he came back, he'd be his old self again. I promise you, Jesse's a good man. It's his brother that's poison.
I can't say we disagree with you. The problem is it's not Ray's seminal fluid we found in Seth's mouth. but it's definitely the same bloodline.
You're lying. Mrs. Hanson. Why do you think Jesse won't give us the blood test?
Ray came over at 7. He drank the whole night again. He went up at 1. About the music. Jesse did come right back down, alone.
Then what happened?
Ray came back a few minutes later. Dragged Jesse out with him. Jesse didn't come home till after 2.
It was a joke.
A joke?
You see that little fag in the gym?
That was Seth.
Right, Seth. We see that little fag Seth in the gym. I ripped Jesse that. It was his girlfriend.
That's hysterical.
Oh, it gets funny. I catch his eye. Not over Jesse and wink. Seth. Blushed like a little schoolgirl.
Still waiting for the punchline.
Walk in that night.
Start with going up to the party because we have you on tape. It's Seth.
When he opened the door, I see him looking out. I go right into the open. I nod over to Jesse. He gives Seth a big old wink. When the door closes, I ask Jesse. He saw his girlfriend. He throws a punch. Buddy, he's so blasted he missed me by a mile. Then he staggers off down the hall.
And you wait?
And out prances Seth. I put my arm around him and say, go up on the roof. Jesse be right out.
Then you went and you got Jesse.
Why?
Sibling rivalry. My daddy did everything I said he did. Jesse should have been a man who stood up for me in my trial.
Jesse was 15 when you were tried.
15 is a lot of years. Someone had served because of him. I could have been out 5.
You did 15 because of what you did, not Jesse.
I think it's horrible that my baby brother killed a man. But he did. And as much as you'd like to, you can't pin it on him. I had nothing to do with it.
You set it up.
I set up a practical joke. Still law against that?
Ray told us everything, Jesse.
Your brother set you up.
I lied. At his trial, Ray was telling the truth. Our father really did do those things.
To both of you?
I tried to forget. Ray wouldn't let me. Even as kids, he would tell me how awful it was for him, but that I liked it.
Nobody thinks that, Jesse. You were only 7 years old.
Whenever I'd visit Ray at Sing Sing, he'd tell me, you just wait. You'll end up here sooner or later. It's your legacy.
Jesse, tell us what happened on the roof.
I was wasted. I don't even remember how I got there. All I could hear was Ray's voice drawing me up there. It didn't seem real. Someone was on their knees. My pants were down. I killed him.
Go file charges for manslaughter. Jesse, you said that you heard Ray's voice drawing you up to the rooftop.
Abby, hold on.
Could you hear his voice once you got up there?
I could hear him laughing at me, yeah.
Jesse, that That's because he was there, wasn't he?
Just remember coming out of a fog and then seeing Ray standing in the doorway, and he was laughing. And I looked down, and I saw what Seth was doing. And Ray said, "I told you."
I told you what? That you were gay?
I wanted to kill him.
Why? What did he do to you?
That's it. Ray! I wanted to kill Ray. I just started lashing out at him. Because in my mind, I was hitting Ray. But he just kept laughing and laughing. I had to shut him up. I took his head and I started bashing. And I just bashed it as hard as I could. It was finally quiet. But I looked down and it wasn't Ray. It was Seth.
Where was Ray?
He was still standing in the doorway. And he said, "Welcome to the family."
Tell me we can charge Ray.
Inciting a murder, depraved indifference, accessory.
That's good for a start.
With Ray's priors, he'll end up doing more time than Jesse.
Make sure he does, Abby.
You heard him. Ray was screwing with his brother's mind his whole life. It had nothing to do with blood. What Jesse did happened because Jesse believed it would. You know that, right?
There's something I'm gonna need to do.
Olivia, what good is it gonna do you to know?
He's not my father.
You sure?
Positive.